Hello, my name is Stacey Kennedy, and well, as for some that do know, I'm known for my YouTube channel. I'm a singer, artist, and I post a lot of videos from the singing app Smule. That's the that where I mostly sing, and what else? So yeah, I'm somebody who's just trying to get myself out there and share my share about me, share about my talents and my personality too. And I'm also part of the where I live or wherever I live. I'm also part of the adult autism community. I'm actually part of I'm a board member of an organization called Ascend, AASCEND, and it stands for Adult Autism Spectrum Coalition for Education, Networking, and Development. One of the things I do, well, first off, we have a TV show called Life on the Autism Spectrum, and we've done this. We're on our 8th season, and if you like, you can go look it up, subscribe, and watch some episodes and see how you feel about. We have interviewed a lot of amazing people, a lot of different individuals who are part of the community and what they do and what their occupation is with the community. Like, some are occupational therapists, some are and some came from all other different nonprofit organizations to talk too. And so yeah, I've been part of Ascend since 2008 or 2009, because that's when I started discovering that I was somewhere on the spectrum, autism spectrum. And I know they don't really use this term anymore, although I feel in a way it's coming back, because Asperger's, I likely can say that, yeah, I have that, but these days it's either I have Asperger's, ASD, or high functioning autism, or HFA. Yeah, I'm somebody that's going to be, here and there, might pause, might just might interrupt myself during these vlogs or blogs, but it's something I've been wanting to do for a while, and just send out more information and messages on what else I am and what else I do. And I feel I have a lot of content to share and offer. And so yeah, it was about 2008. I was applying for disability, and luckily I got it, because I wasn't working that much at the time, and I was having real struggles with things, and luckily I got granted it. Around that same time is when, it wasn't just OCD or circumstantial depression or so that was, keeping me from working or socializing or so. It was also, I learned about Asperger's, and I read a lot of books on Temple Grandin, John Elder Robinson, Ruby Simone, Rudy excuse me, if I get anyone's name wrong, please forgive me. And you know, I just kindly and sincerely ask that you have patience with me. I barely have patience with myself. So yeah, that task is already taken up. Anyway, yeah, I did a lot of reading, and you know, I never enjoyed reading so much in my life during that time. Especially, I was also reading about dogs, and you know, I slowly was just jumping into a little dog walking business and pet sitting, and then I started to do more activity and get more involved with Ascend as well, and so and I've one of the things I do for Ascend is that I post things on. We have an Ascend page on Twitter. We have 2 Ascend pages on Facebook. There's Life on the Autism Spectrum. I post newer episodes when we do have them. I post weekly things, like once or twice a week, on the Ascend page. And then on Twitter, the Ascend page there, I post things pretty much daily. And I've researched, I looked up, and I learned a lot of things. There's a lot of these channels that I certainly am very impressed with and inspired by, and yeah, there's a lot of channels that I subscribe to myself that, like, you know, I want to post some more of these, and most from the community seem to really like what I post, and yeah, I post a lot of different things, and you know, a lot of different content too, like pretty much about those who are on the spectrum and how they go by their daily life, and how, you know, how embraceful that some are, or how embraceful that you learn to be, you know? I mean, because I feel there's a lot of emotional credit to give, you know, somebody who is on the spectrum, because especially when they're putting themselves out there like this. I'm a huge thing of social media. I'm not only a singer, I'm an actress. I'm currently still taking instinctive acting training online by a woman named Jo Kelly. And so yeah, I've been doing that for almost 2 years. There's some different courses you go through, and then there's other courses on her site that, you know, if you decide to want to continue, which, you know, she'll encourage you to, especially when she sees the most authentic being in you. She definitely encourages you to continue. Anyways, yeah, I would say, like most who I would say definitely, you know, I being a woman on the spectrum, I you don't have to make it a gender thing, you know. I think just anybody who's on the spectrum that went through life just not exactly getting a real firm diagnosis, or not diagnosed at all. I self-diagnosed yeah. And I would say that there's times I'd open up about it, and people would say, wow, you don't seem that. Well, there's things some of us intend to mask very well, and still do. And, you know, and it's not that I ever want to make excuses for anything. I mean, there's times I've skipped doing things, yeah, because suddenly my mood had changed, you know. can I say? It's been 10 minutes so far, and I plan to make these videos maybe 10 or 15, 17, 18 minutes or so, depending on how long or short I want to talk about the subject. So yeah, I would say my childhood certainly was not easy. I was put in special ed classes, and don't get me wrong, I really endured some of my classmates in there. And then when I started going into other different kinds of classes, they saw that I was ready for it. I certainly, you know, was an outcast. And gosh, pretty much the whole thing about the why I'm making this, why I'm filming this, is because I thought maybe, you know what, you start somewhere. You just got to start somewhere, and you just start, right? There's so many things. There's a lot of things in my life I've accomplished, you know, whether I was acknowledged being on the spectrum or not, you know. How would you say, gosh. Yeah, pretty much I think I'm just gonna go live. I'm just gonna press record whenever I feel the need to share something. And I don't even know if I will post this today just yet. Yeah, my inner self, and you know, some would just say, I recently heard the term Nike, meaning, you know, just do it. Yeah, I could, and you know, not worry about it. If anything, I probably have a lot of people reaching out to me who are in the same boat, and who have been sharing content, some of the same ones like this, and not just autism. There's other things about me that I will certainly share, and I just will try to, I mean, I have a lot of stage training, and so, and I could be just downing myself about this. I know I really don't need to do that. It's not necessary. I always want to, you know, be on the positive side of things. But I think also part of life is just, it's just the nature of, I mean, if you feel great, you feel great. You feel sad, you feel sad. If you feel angry, you feel angry. And, you know, it's an energy load that you're releasing, and should not ever hold in. You know, go to a spot where you feel safe, and where, you know, no one will care what you will do or say. And gosh. So yeah, basically I'm showing the other side of me. No, I guess you could safely say that I'm, you know, I'm putting aside the professional part of me. If anything, I feel I'm being professional about, you know, talking about myself and my autism, and my significant other who's on the spectrum too. We both met at a discussion panel where we were paid to talk about our experiences and give advice to teachers and parents. And we've been together for almost 9 years now, and we're doing well together. I mean, we understand each other, and we do not question each other's quirks or so, because we get it. That's all I can say, is you get it. So yeah, I guess, you know, like I said, you start somewhere. I'm going to be saying a lot of you knows. I'm not going to exactly always speak, even though I know how to. I'm putting that other side ahead of me, putting that part of me aside, and not worry about, you know, what I feel I have to do more professionally. I've done community theater for a long time, and I say that that counts as training. I've been ensemble in lots of musicals, and I've understudied some roles. What else? So yeah, this is just me today getting started with my vlogs or blogs, and I live at home with my parents. I really haven't once been emancipated, and you know, it's becoming such an expensive world, and I don't mean to make excuses, but you know, lots are living with their loved ones and pretty much just looking out for each other. I mean, yes, all the time, every day, I have the craving to just have a place of my own, you know, but I just don't know where I'm at right now. I think we're doing fine. We're just supporting ourselves and each other, and we have dogs. And when I mean by we, I mean my parents and my boyfriend, who still technically lives, you know, with his parents too, but you know, for his job, he's with me most of the time. So, and it's nice, we get to spend a lot of time together. Yeah, it just I think when there's a part of you that hasn't exactly been completely on your own, I wouldn't say you don't have full independent. I'm independent, right? I make my own decisions. It's just living arrangements. When it comes to that, I would say my boyfriend has. He'd probably be the first out of me. Not that it matters who went. That he'd be the first to actually be on his own in a different place, which is, you know, my place. You know, got a little experience with that. Me, I've been to places, I've visit people, I've traveled, and you know, not a whole lot, but I was even having, for a while was in a relationship from abroad. So yeah, there's a lot of things I want to learn and share. I mean, yeah, I'm still learning. Like, there's a lot of things about myself I want to share, and you know, not always living in the result. You know, because if you were always trying to chase the result and finally getting it, what happens next? I mean, that isn't always fun too. It isn't always so great, you know, living that way. I mean, because life's a journey, not a destination. I like that quote. I'm just walking around in circles. Maybe that's just what helps me to, there's so many things of mine that, you know, I feel, okay, I'm ready to get rid of. And I did. And there's other things, I don't know, a bit too sentimental that I'm not quite, you know, so, and because I'm sort of treating this time in my life where, I don't know, my room is probably going to be the only place my boyfriend and I will ever afford to live in. And I get very touchy when the talk of, you know, monetary comes up. It depends on how it's brought up. Honestly, I think due to, I don't know, of, you know, how I was raised and how, I don't know, learning to be to be so, frugal and so, but also I can't help but just say that I feel I've been around such greedy people, and then when it comes to me saying, aren't you happy making money? It's like, well, yeah, but I just guess I'm not as happy as you, because I just feel here's the thing, there's always each household, or each, how would you say, or each community has their own rules, and say there's every household and families and colleagues or whatever have their rules. Under that roof, you don't talk religion, politics. I add those two, but I also, there's 3 more rules of mine: money, weight, and age. I have an intense rule that those are not brought up whatsoever, because age has nothing to do with, has nothing to do with, what you do in life. There's things you could still do no matter how much older you get, as long as you have your health. And yeah, things I eventually admit that will eventually go downhill, but why should it? I think it's probably the main reason things might go downhill is because of the mindset. And I don't want my mindset like that. And I'm just so, there's just some, and it could be all in my head, but I've heard, people, and I know they were just talking about themselves, that just like, right? And it's up to them, but it's like how, I just get so tired of hearing that, hearing about such, inabilities that eventually happen, and I don't know, I'm not really out there to just prove anybody wrong on that or something, I don't know. But what I just want to prove to myself that I'm still very energetic. I'm still, I still have strengths, and I'm fine with my weaknesses, I feel, honestly, those are content that I feel that helps me get out there and helps, others understand, and not everyone's gonna understand. I understand that. It just, but anyway, well, 23 minutes now, and I'm not gonna worry about time, either, and yeah, I just think some things, some are just very touchy about, and our bodies change all the time. I need to still learn to accept my own body, and not that there's anything wrong with me, I'm fine, I just, but I don't know, I guess that's it for today. So thank you for listening, if you did, and hopefully you'll eventually, if you want to, like, share, and subscribe. Yeah, there's a lot of things I'm still catching up with, and yeah, just take care wherever you are in the world. Good day, or good night, good evening, good morning, all that.